Hey folks, welcome back. So as promised, we're going to finish up the monster spawner today. And by putting in the mechanics into place. So I think I've just about got everything ready to go here. If not, if we're missing something, we'll make it along the way. You can see I went ahead and put in all the conveyor belts off camera because I felt that was pretty self-explanatory on how they work. You put them down and they basically push things in the direction you want it to go. So what we're going to try to do here is we want to drop the mobs down right here. So there's our 2 deep layer, and this is the part that'll take a little bit more excavating just to get it working very nice. And I think we want the mob drops to come up right into this wall, which will work out just lovely. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So we need to have the mobs drop down a 2 deep hole right here. Oh, let's see. Maybe I'm off a little bit. Yes, I want the mobs to drop here. Whoops. So let's just go ahead and fix this up quickly. We'll need a bit more conveyor belt, it looks like, but that's okay. We can add that in just a minute. So it's all about just, setting this stuff up to align perfectly. So now we want to go 2 deep with the hole. So when they fall in, they basically can't get out. Okay. And we want to make sure we don't have an issue with it as well. Let's go ahead and dig a spot out here so we can get up and down for now. And we're going to make it daytime in a hurry. While we're waiting, we can refill our water bottle, or our camel pack. So it's ready to go. As soon as the sunset touches the horizon, the sleeping bag works wonders. Okay. Camel pack back on, you up there, and let's continue digging here. So we need to get, let's get our barrels into place. I'm not exactly sure how many drops we're going to get from this, so I made 12 barrels to start with, and I thought we can always expand if we have to. We'll put a overflow chest into the system. Always a good idea when you're trying to figure that kind of thing out. So here's where we want to connect. All the mob loot will come right into here for us. Okay. And I suppose we could use our excavator a little bit here. We can always fill it back in with cobble if we have to. But we do want some room to work. Let's see. Take that out. And we'll go, so let's see, 2 deep is where? Right there. We're going to have to go at least 1 more. Okay. And do that. And that. And let's get some bricks into place for our walls. With in any design like this, it's always fairly important to go ahead and make your walls solid stone so you know exactly where they're at. And we only want to dig out individual at this moment. That way we don't, it also avoids us accidentally digging into the monster trap here at some point. We need to go 1 more back this way actually, so we can get around to that side. And we're going to need to be right into here, I think, right? 1, 2. No. Yeah, right there. Okay. And that should be into our base in here. Hopefully we can pipe through this. We can always rearrange that pipe if we got to. Alright. So now, we got our spikes. Let's dig out our floor too, where the spikes are going to sit on. Okay. And we can put the floor down and the spikes should be right here. So the mobs will land on these spikes, and they do instant damage from touching them. So now what we need is to have that kind of a pattern around here. Let's see. Let's dig that out too. This will be kind of our covering. So what I made are these omnidirectional hoppers, and what they do is they collect all the stuff in front of them. I'm hoping we can rotate. Well, if not, we'll pick them up. We'll pick up the spikes and set them up a different way. Okay. So give me a block to place that against for now. Give me a block there. So both of these hoppers should pick up any loot that falls in front of them. And we'll do the same here and here. Oop, oop. Don't do that. Be careful, you can die from them. Die from the spikes. So now when the mobs die, their loot's going to sit right there and there's hoppers in front of it. Oops. Okay. There we go. And we just got to collect that. And you'll note what I did here is I made 4 transfer nodes. So let's just test here. Can we put the transfer node right onto... Nope. Okay, so we got some chests. If I throw some loot into there, and we don't have a brick there for the moment, we can see that it gets sucked right into the chest. Okay? So we'll do the same on this side. That pipe is gonna have to be rearranged. So let's just move it back one. Here we go. And we'll put our chest into here. And yes, we can do a double chest, that's fine. In this case. When we test anywhere we get loot into here, it gets sucked in and pushed right into the chests. Beautiful. Now, we need to get that stuff out from here. So we're going to dig down one more here just so we can place this cleanly. Remember, large chests you got to do this kind of double hookup thing with. And let's knock you out for a minute. Whoa. Big fall. Okay, like so. And where's that pipe at? Here we go. So now that's going to have to come out down and under here, I guess. Let's get our transfer nodes hooked up, or transfer pipe hooked up to this stuff. And we want it to come up right to there. We'll take this out too for right now. There we go. Okay. And now with this pipe, you can set the direction that you want everything to flow. So we always want it to flow up here. Okay. Let's make sure we get our mobs absolutely trapped into here now. No getting out from the pit of doom. Okay, and a couple of glowstone nooks down here just to light up, you know, the other good stuff. And let's see, let's put an actual floor down here for ourselves for later, just in case we got to do maintenance for some reason. We can kind of find it a bit easier. Let's see, we'll put a wall there. Take these 3 out, or 4 or 5 or whatever it is. And get another wall into place. And I'm just going to hop out. like so. Okay. So now that pipe should come up, and we should just be able to connect it to the chests, or to the barrels rather. And if I get the flow going the right way, let's see. I want the flow that way. And you'll notice that because of the way I'm setting the direction on this pipe, it's forcing it to disconnect until we're ready for it. So I always wanted to kind of do this nice little zigzaggy pattern to help item flow do it the right way. And then we want one more thing over to here somewhere, just in case we get an extra. Let's go one more so it doesn't connect funny like that. Just for an overflow chest, basically. So now everything kind of does this zigzag up and down, and we're good there. We can knock this block out. And now we got to be ultra careful about falling into this pit. We can also knock these out so they can't get up on the roof. Whoop. Actually, let's go finish up this room up here. Okay. We're going to have to make it daytime once more here, I think. So for now, we're just going to put a chest in the corner here to collect leftovers. And we'll get a glowstone nook, like above it maybe. Okay, that'll work. Let's make sure we make it daytime. So now all the items are flowing, the mobs are flowing. About the last thing we got, for now we're going to close in that pit for just a minute. I want to make sure we make it daytime here. And then we need just a handful more stuff. Conveyor belt. Let's go get the 3 pieces of that made up, or whatever, half a stack or quarter stack. We should have some rubber here. We need a piece of iron and some redstone. You can see we're starting to get low on metals, but that'll solve itself very soon here. If we do belt, it's this orange one that has the recipe. That should be more than enough to finish off the remaining conveyor belts. Okay. Where do we want to go? Oh, you know, do I have some cobblestone to mark that so we can tell? A bit easier. Should be like right here is the back. Yeah. So we want to stop the conveyor belt from running right there. Okay. Okay, so the mobs will come running there and fall to their doom. And you can see, if I look over the edge here, all that cobblestone that we just knocked down in there got sucked up and pushed up here. All the different types of blocks. So eventually the mob loot will come into play, but we put in a piece of glass. Oh wait, we gotta knock out the nook back here. And here, and here. Because we don't want to trip up the mobs, or have them get hung up on anything. And it looks like we need to put our camelback back on quickly. And now we flip the lever, lights go out, and here comes the mobs. Let's watch for just a minute, see what happens. And the winner of our first chicken dinner is a creeper, looks like. Lots of them. So you can see them spawning up there. And the conveyor belt will push them this way eventually. Let's see, let's make sure we collect all this stuff out of here quickly. Those transfer nodes should work perfectly, even if it backlogs a little down there. The mobs will come in and fall to their doom. And it'll just be a conga line of something I like to call Mob TV. There we go, and you see them sitting in the spikes down there, even the spiders. Drop down eventually. The omnidirectional hoppers collect the loot. And we're good to go. So that's step one of the mob farm I wanted to finish. And you can see we're already starting to collect loot. That's fine. Whatever the order shows up, we're just going to lock it into place and let it go. Oh, I forgot we're gonna want the filing cabinets here for like chainmail and things of that nature. Eventually, I might even trade out these file cabinets for some barrels later on. But we'll get there. You can see it collects the loot, it looks for a spot, and it'll send it up, ever so slowly. And we'll get things like Endermen spawning in here that'll come right down the tunnelway and give us Ender Pearls. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. A pile of bones is a good thing. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, we got our first set of arrows. Good. So I'll let this run for a while, guys. The next thing I need to do is dig out an area for a squid spawner, so I will do that off camera. You guys can look up the Minecraft mechanics of how squids work, and we'll go from there. I will be back in a jiffy. So real quick, folks, there's one fine-tuning thing I made with the mob trap here. I built one more set of iron spikes, and I put 2 of them right at the top here. What ends up happening is some of these spiders try to climb up, and we're backlogging the system. When they climb up too far, they take a hit from the spikes and drop back down. So eventually it does clear them out. So you can see that one's actually getting forced into it because there's the jam happening right there. He will die eventually, and the system will free itself back up. So, point a note. Enjoy. I'll be back in a minute once I finish digging out the squid spawning area. So hey folks, here we are outside of our base. I picked out a spot for the squid spawner dig. And I looked at the time in this video, and it's getting to be kind of long, so I wanted to at least give you an idea of what it's going to look like. You'll see the outside chiseled cobblestone here. Small cobblestone is going to be the outside wall. And then this, where I have rough cobblestone at the moment, is going to be the tank itself. What I'll need to do between episodes is process up a bunch of sand, as well as make some clear glass out of that. So that way we can have a very nice looking tank, and I'll get all the supplies ready. In the meantime, I wanted to show you where our mob spawner has been, or how it's been progressing. It's been running for about 45 minutes now. And we're getting just a ton of resources. You can see we're up to 8 ender pearls already, which is excellent. You know, a bunch of creeper seeds, nothing else in the chest yet. We're still going. We got to give it a couple of days to run to start backlogging. Eventually, what we'll probably add in on some of these key things like flint and zombie flesh is a void upgrade on the barrel, because once we hit 64 stacks any given thing, we don't particularly need it. Hey folks, so it's been a bit of a break since I recorded the beginning of this episode, but we did a touch of live streaming last night to just kind of work on the squid spawner a bit more, so let's continue with that. You'll notice that I'm making a bunch of clear glass here, so that's kind of the linchpin in completing this whole build for this episode, and part of the reason why the episode was delayed. Number two, you'll notice I've been also watching the mob spawner and the resulting loot from it, and we're doing pretty well with it. There's a few things we're still getting here that we need to handle, but I've moved the trash bin inside, and you can see what I'm filtering out and throwing out for right now. I have some filing cabinets that we put to use here to collect the various pieces of golden armor that will more than likely come with enchants later on, or over time, so that way as we need enchants we have them at our disposal. And last but not least here, we need to get our water ready to go. And it looks like some extra food. And hopefully we've got enough clear glass to finish this build up. And we're going to make it daytime. Let's put the cabling away for now. We don't need that on us. And I see that I got 4 of these guys. We'll top them off so we got a third water, because this is a fairly long build, or jump build coming up. And the way I'm planning on doing this, so let me catch you up to speed here quickly. You saw that before the last cut, I had picked the position for the squid spawner. I managed to dig all of that out. I've got the top level platform ready to go. We just got to build up the clear glass sides on it so we can kind of watch the squid spawning in time. And we'll start out with it right down at ground level here. Whoa, really? I got a ghast over here coming to mess with me? So it should be just one block in all the way from the corners. And we gotta watch that ghast. I'm gonna have to get rid of him, because that'll make a mess. And that's how the base of this is gonna kind of look. But first we got to get rid of the ghast, because that's just asking for problems. Come on, die. There we go. We're gonna have to go refill these clips pretty soon, but let's make sure there's no gas tears out here. And in fact, I do have one more clip on me. That's plenty good. Okay. Yep, that's the one thing you got to watch out for when you're outside working, is pay attention to the ghasts and get rid of them while it's easy going, because it's something that's very easy to forget. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is build up one wall at a time. The more I look at it, because that'll do 2 things. Number 1, it'll finish a wall, and number 2, it'll allow me to get back out of this situation if we don't have enough clear glass, and it'll go pretty quick. And then number 3, at the bottom of this tank, we're going to want to have some space to work with. But that'll come in just a little bit. First of all, we got to get the sides in place, and then the bottom catching system, and then the water. So here we go. And you can see this is going through a fair amount of clear glass. I haven't quite done the math, but I'm hoping we have enough stacks of it. And, yeah, see, we barely got enough for one side, so one of the issues we got to work through. Anyway, what I will do, folks, is I'm going to cut the episode here because this part of the build is kind of boring. And I will see you guys next episode. Always pay attention to my Twitch live stream because you might find that I'm doing a live broadcast of what I'm working on next here, especially if the build is kind of grindy. And that way you can ask me questions about what I've done. It's twitch.tv/recanem. The link is on my YouTube channel. Go have a look. Until next time, folks.